Otters can sweep you off your feet with their charm and absurd caricatures. But under the veil of this sordid life, otters are vicious predators capable of absolute savagery that can shock you to the core. Have you seen otters destroying a deadly alligator? Well, they are skilled enough to hunt down opponents that seem to be far beyond their capabilities. In today's video, we will show you 15 spine-chilling moments of otters taking it out on their enemies and destroying them in the most brutal ways possible. Let's get started. Number 15. Snakes. Since otters spend a lot of their time in the water, it inevitably becomes their primary hunting ground. Snakes and otters are neighbors, but clearly not the best ones. Although the giant reptiles can be a challenging catch for the mustelids, the smaller ones are frequently hunted down. This otter is blissfully munching on a snake, which is clearly still alive. The snake makes a feeble attempt to wrap itself around the otter with the part that is still dangling outside, but the predator shakes it off each time. If you look closely, the other otter at the far end has also managed to treat itself with a snake lunch. This otter is toying around and teasing the frantic snake instead of killing it right away. It chases the reptile around the waterhole, nabbing down the snake every time it tries to get away. Otters are skilled snake hunters, and this tiny snake is no match against its predator, which is why the otter is buying itself some playtime before closing in for the final strike. It traps the snake between the branches and settles to destroy its slithery victim. Number 14. Turtle. There are few animals in the wild that have been seen to prey on turtles. The reason behind this is pretty obvious. It takes immense external pressure to crack open the hard shells that cover the insides of a turtle. But who needs to be strong when you can be sneaky geniuses like the otters? This otter family is feasting on a turtle, and instead of trying to crack open the shell to devour the prey, these mustelids try out a crafty alternative. They flip over the turtle to expose the underbelly and start by feeding on the limbs and try to extract the rest of its flesh from the emptied holes on its lower body. In another situation, an otter family is caught munching on a turtle carcass before they dash into the water, alerted by the sudden human interference. The glimpses captured show the turtle overturned and eaten in a similar fashion like the previous one. Number 13. Crab. Crabs can be a tricky prey, even for the most skilled predators. Apart from the hard shell that acts as a tough shield, crabs are equipped with deadly claws that help them in defending themselves and attacking their opponents, and inflict some serious injuries in the process. An otter nabs down a giant crab and attempts to feed on it while it's alive. When the prey snaps back and tries to gore the otter with its sharp forearms, the attacker quickly rolls over and flips the crab on its back to render it defenseless. The otter then amputates one of its limbs and starts feeding on that part individually. This otter is enjoying its seafood in its natural habitat. While floating on its back, the mustelid is devouring the crab laid on its belly. The prey is in no position to retaliate as the otter disarms it and crunches down the shell with utmost ease to eat the meat inside. Number 12. Monkey. Monkeys and otters dominate two completely different territories, but have occasional encounters on the ground where they both come together looking for food. Monkeys can be extremely notorious and evasive, and sometimes the rebellious otters snap back at them. An otter busy foraging the grounds comes face to face with a curious monkey that immediately decides to annoy its opponent. The monkey hovers over the otter, slaps it, and tries to pin it down several times. When the otter starts retaliating, the primate seeks to get away, but the otter keeps charging at it. At this point, the monkey quickly seeks cover in the bushes, but the otter follows it almost immediately. When the monkey fails to dominate its rival, it leaps away to the other end, showing that it has had enough and wants to surrender. Number 11. Alligator. Otters and alligators often attack each other, and while the adult gators can easily subdue the mustelids, the younger ones are much more vulnerable to their attacks. Otters seek opportunity to take out the smaller alligators since they lack the strength and skills of their parents. A river otter is destroying an alligator by ripping it off in pieces and devouring the flesh inside. The alligator is smaller than the full-grown ones, but it still takes a certain level of skill and expertise to take down a vicious reptile. The otter is holding down the cadaver and biting off tiny shreds of meat off the reptile's tail. Number 10. Octopus. Octopuses are difficult to tackle, owing to their numerous tentacles that relentlessly tries to grope the contender and insane flexibility that aids them in squeezing out of any situation. Apart from that, octopuses are venomous and can be extremely fatal to their opponents, but the voracious otters still manage to capture and kill them. An otter enjoys a giant octopus while floating in the water. It grabs the tentacles and bites off the ends of it in shreds, slowly working its way up to the main body. The otter rolls over occasionally to prevent the tentacles from tangling around it. This sea otter has secured a nice big octopus for lunch and chows it down while drifting away with the water current. This otter parent is munching on a tiny octopus with its pup swirling around in the water by its side. The prey seems to be alive for a short while, which causes some struggle for the otter to get a good grip over the moving tentacles. However, the octopus soon becomes unresponsive as the otter starts devouring it savagely. Number 9. Fish. Fishes are a staple food in an otter's diet, and needless to say, these predators prey on countless fishes to satiate their daily appetite. They use their sensitive whiskers to detect prey underwater and grasp them at the right moment to make a clean kill. Here, an otter is trying to get a grip over a fish that's struggling to flee from this vicious predator. Soon, the fish is tightly grasped between the claws of the otter, frantically flapping its tail to break free. The otter begins to chomp down the fish from the sides as the prey stops struggling and goes limp. This otter family works as a team to ambush and hunt down a huge koi fish for their meal. They pull out the fish from the water to a drier place to get a better hold on their prey and rip it off from all ends. Here, the otter directly bites down the head of the fish to confirm its kill. With each bite, the predator takes out a chunk of its prey, savagely devouring the whole catch. Number 8. Monitor lizard. Otters are driven by curiosity, and whenever they share space with monitor lizards, the inquisitive nature of the mustelids sometimes put the two animals at loggerheads. An otter pup silently approaches a monitor lizard resting on the banks, while the rest of its family is busy scouring at the back. The lizard smacks the pup with its tail as a warning to keep away. When the monitor repeats the assault, the entire otter family flips out and rushes to attack the lizard. They lash out from all sides, biting down the assaulter viciously. The lizard is severely outnumbered and fails to do anything to defend itself against the ferocious attacks. Number 7. Birds. Although otters and birds are not likely to cross each other's path very often, there have been incidents where these predators have shocked everyone by hunting down an aerial creature. When a seagull ventures too close to the water surface, an otter takes this opportunity to grab the bird by its face and pulls it underwater in an attempt to drown the bird and confirm its kill before dragging it to one of the nearest docks to devour it in peace. This pair of otters managed to hunt down a small bird and get to feed on it right away. The bird is already unresponsive and shows no sign of retaliation, implying the predators have made a successful kill. Another scene shows an otter munching on a huge dead pelican carcass right in the middle of a lagoon. Although it's unclear if the otters have made the kill, they surely intend to clean the cadaver to the bones. Number 6. Frogs. Otters frequently prey on amphibians, and even though frogs are capable enough to evade predators with their agility and vigilance, otters succeed in outsmarting their prey at times. This mustelid secures itself a giant scrumptious bullfrog in the middle of a frozen waterhole. The otter mutilates the frog with its sharp canines and tears it in pieces before chomping on the flesh. After scanning the shallows for several minutes, the otter heads to the bank and rummages through the grass for a moment before coming out with a frog dangling between its teeth. The predator munches on the prey while wading through the water. Number 5. Rodent. Most of the animals that the otters prey on are found around the territory they dominate and available in plenty. Rodents check all these boxes, making them a go-to prey for the otters. This predator has found and nabbed a small mouse for its lunch. With no time to waste, the otter rips off the head of its prey, and while using its paws to hold the prey in position, it continues to devour the rest of its meal with utmost bliss. A family of otters are huddled up inside a zoo enclosure when a few mice are thrown to them. They immediately dive in the water to retrieve the day's meal and get back out, grabbing the mice carcasses. They rip into the flesh of the rodents and enjoy a nice meal. Number 4. Eel. Otters also treat themselves to eels whenever they manage to lay their hands on one of these preys. These elongated victims guarantee more meat to fill their appetite. Here, an otter finds itself a nice secluded place to eat a giant eel. We can see the otter clutching the mutilated eel between its strong webbed claws as the predator bites on the head of its fresh catch. Partially hidden behind the woods, this otter also relishes on an eel as captured on the footage by some onlookers. Number 3. Dog. Although there are not many recorded encounters between otters and dogs in their natural habitat, otters are indomitable creatures that refuse to go down without a fight, regardless of their opponent. When 9 mongrels ambush an otter, the mustelid puts up a ferocious fight instead of surrendering to the canine army. It lunges at the dogs whenever they get too near to the otter. It swiftly monitors the movement of each of the attackers and skillfully evades all of them until the dogs are scared off by onlookers of the incident. Number 2. Duck and Goose. Otters, ducks, and geese all spend most of their time in the water and confront each other quite often. Some of these confrontations take an unfortunate turn for the worse. This otter has hunted down a full-grown giant goose from an icy lake. The prey is brutally mutilated and stripped open, exposing the bloodied insides that the otter takes pleasure in devouring. An otter feeds on a duck carcass in its enclosure. The ill-fated duck meets the same tragic ending as the goose in the previous clip. The vicious attacker plucks out its flesh in shreds for easy consumption. Number 1. Sea Urchin. Sea urchins make for an easy meal for the otters, as their spines are rarely enough to keep these determined predators at bay. This otter skillfully breaks open a sea urchin and chomps it down within a few minutes while stacking the others on its belly. The spines that the urchins use as defense makes little impact against this predator. This otter feasts on an urchin as it floats in the water. The otter bites down the urchin in fragments before eating away the fleshy insides. That's all for today, folks. Which of these otter attacks did you find the most intriguing? Let us know in the comments down below. Plus, don't forget to like and share this video with your friends and family. To get more such amazing videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so that you can get notified every time we come with a new video. Have a great day, and we hope to see you soon in another exciting video.